Well, morning everyone, and a happy new year to you. It's a brand new year, 2023, January the 4th, and this is my first session of the year. Predictably, I'm after a pike or two down on my local pits, mainly because there's nowhere else to fish. We've had a lot more heavy rain over the last 2 weeks since I fished last. You know, I've had a long Christmas break, didn't do any fishing, so I've had a bit of a break. But we've had rain and more rain. You know, I checked the river levels this morning, they were way up, burst their banks. There's no point of even going up there to have a look, because looking at the monitoring station just upriver, it's well over the top. You know, it's just crazy. There's floods on the road down here. It took me an hour and 3/4, an hour and 50 minutes to get down here today. Traffic was so bad, I had to do a detour, and then there was roadworks, and there was an oil spillage on the road, and it was just the worst journey ever. But I made it, finally got here. I left in darkness this morning, and it's now gone 10 o'clock, and just about got fishing. Looks like the sun's just about trying to break through. Hopefully there's going to be no rain today. I did drive through rain down here, but the forecast is for it to be a dry day, so at least I'm going to keep dry, even if I don't catch anything. So I started in this little corner behind me. I've just got baits down the left and right hand margin. It's quite deep in this corner, 10 foot deep in here. So I thought I'd give it a go in here for an hour or two, and then move around the lake, or even move over to the lake over the back. I don't really care today. I just want to catch a fish, you know, just to start off the new year. 5 or 6 pound pike would do me, so fingers crossed for the first trip of the new year. So there's one float bobbing about in the waves just along the right hand margin there. Mackerel head on that one, and the other one, if I pan around, please excuse any wind noise, it's quite windy in this corner. Just through those reeds there, you might be able to see the float bobbing away. Left hand one in there, and that's on a tail section mackerel. As I say, give it an hour or two in here, and then we'll be on the move. Well, that ain't a good start, is it? Flipping disaster. I was just looking down at the ground and looked around and saw the rod yanked over and the reel was spinning around backwards. So that was a proper good take, that one. Mackerel head down on the right hand margin. Pulled into it, you know, the fish was on. Got the GoPro going so I could record it, which probably was my mistake. Fiddling around with it. Got the other rod out the way, just went to get the net, and as you saw then, the blinking thing come off. So not a good start. Probably my own fault for trying to record it all. That's the danger of trying to get a recording, is you sort of take your eye off of the fish, and that one just give it a bit of slack line and it shook the hook out, unfortunately. So one of those things. Anyway, shows us pike down there, so I'll probably stick in this swim for a little while and see if we can get another one. Right, so we're in the second swim now. I gave it a couple of hours in the first swim, but just lost that one fish at the net, as you saw. So I've come over onto the lake behind now. Going to give it a couple of hours in here, see if we can get anything out of here. So 2 baits are out there now, and it's fingers crossed for another bite. Well, the disaster continues. I don't know if you can see that float slowly drifting out into the centre of the lake there, unattached to my line. Well, that was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it? God dear. I hooked a pike, you know, not long after I've been in here, maybe half an hour, something like that. Float went under, and had a pike on. Brilliant. But hopefully I'm going to land this one. Got it in, it stayed on, I landed it. brilliant. First one of the year. Beautifully marked pike, approaching double figures I would have thought. Really nice dark green one with beautiful markings on it. I thought, wow, this is going to make a great photograph. One of the hooks was just under the chin and the other one was just in its mouth. So I thought I'd unhook it in the net. So I got the hooks out in the net and it sort of rolled around and it got the main line through its teeth. So I thought, okay, before I lift this out, I better get the line out, otherwise it's going to bite through it. I was just about to lift it out and the pike jumped clean out of the net, straight over the rim, bit through the line, succeeded in taking the float with it and the lead and everything, bit through the line and swam off. And then the float was bobbing around on the surface. My favourite float that I've had ever since I've been pike fishing, you know. I've never lost the float. I can't lose this one, so I tried to get it with the rod, but it's just drifted off away. So I've lost my favourite float after 5 years piking, and I lost the pike as well. Really disaster. Anyway, so I re-rigged it up. Luckily I had a spare float, so my only spare float is out there with another section of mackerel on it. Got everything sorted out. Within 5-10 minutes the float's away again, and I just landed one, so I've redeemed myself. It's a much smaller fish, it's probably only around about 6 pounds, but let's have a look at him now. Well, there we go, first one of the year. After a bit of a disastrous start, losing a couple of fish, one of them jumps out the net and bit the line. I finally landed one. Nicely coloured fish, around about 6 pounds, but it's got the year off to a good start. Well, it's the third swim of the day. I've been in here for about an hour and a half now, back on my old favourite, up on the willow bank. Nothing to show for it so far. I've got a couple of baits out under the willow tree canopy just along the bank here, and I've not had a twitch so far. I only got about half an hour left. It's about 3:30 now, so I'm going to call it a day in about half an hour. Try and beat the traffic as usual, but hope the journey's better than the journey down here. Crikey. Anyway, so an interesting first trip of the year. You know, I had a fish in the first swim, unfortunately it fell off. I had 2 chances in the second swim over the back there. Landed both of them. You know, one got out of the net before I could get it out, and landed the other one, a small one, and nothing in here. So pretty slow really, but what would you expect at this time of year? Hopefully things will get better as the year progresses. So I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.